The most common misconception that people get about the Forbes under 30 list is that you can pay to be a list maker. Anytime you have the opportunity to say that you're the first to do something or the only to do something, you want to highlight that. We wanted customers so bad. I was like, let me just print flyers and drop them off at the library. Like, I was trying to figure out every single thing I could do to get in front of people. So the Forbes 30 under 30 list highlights the best and brightest young people from across the country. And the most common misconception that people get about the Forbes under 30 list is that you can pay to be a list maker. And from my experience, you cannot pay to be a list maker and to make the list. So they highlight the best and the brightest. They now also have like a regional guide where you can apply to be under 30 in your major city. So in the city near you. So that's definitely worth applying. But I would definitely say, firstly, you want to be nominated by a list maker. So every year, previous list makers receive an email where they can nominate a founder or a young person to join the list. Every year, I get the opportunity to nominate someone, which I do, and I believe every single Forbes under 30 list maker gets that same opportunity. So that's what you want to do. You want to become friends with the list maker or reach out to a list maker in your network and see if they would be interested in nominating you. So you want your application to be able to explain in a story form who you are and what you do. You're going to want to be very descriptive. And this is something that we go over in some of my pitch sessions, Elevate with Jasmine, the mini course and all that. It's how to have a narrative description of your business, yourself, your life, your history, your story. You're going to want to condense that and put that into your application. Lastly, a major pointer that I want to say is anytime you have the opportunity to say that you're the first to do something or the only to do something, you want to highlight that. So include, this is the first business to do X, Y, and Z. I'm the only person to do that. I'm one of the few to do X, Y, and Z. That's going to help make your application stand out. And then here's a bonus tip that most people don't tell you. After you're shortlisted, it's an extensive due diligence process. So Forbes gets all up in your business. They need you to send all of your details over to them, and then they go through it with a fine-tooth comb. So again, it's not the easiest thing to do. It is more selective than the Harvard applicant pool. So you're going to definitely want to take your time as you're filling it out, but it's totally worth it. The connections, the friendships, the opportunities that those doors open, it's so totally worth it. So good luck with your application. I had a former employer nominate me. I had a former list maker, a previous list maker nominate me, and then I submit a nomination on my own behalf. And I think that, maybe that was able to sort of help me to leverage myself in because I believe that, they look through all these applications, they want to see who's shining bright. And I had a really good package behind me. So for our company, I was nominated in the retail and e-commerce category for Cherry Blossom Intimates, and we were the first of its kind, fully encompassing lingerie boutique that was also a fully accredited medical facility. We help breast cancer survivors to receive post-mastectomy bras and prosthetics with a state-of-the-art boutique fitting experience. We had a brick and mortar store at the time right outside of Washington, D.C. To date, we've served about 20,000 people, and we were the first to do it on that scale in that way. We ended up winning a lot of design awards as well and innovation awards from that same company. But being able to say we were the first to offer those services, we also were the first to offer the custom breast prosthetic services around the clock. We house certified mastectomy fitters in our space around the clock, and we were the first to do that. So there are lots of lists that you can pay for. And what's interesting is after you are on the Forbes list, you start getting incoming messages from other lists that want you to pay a fee and they'll guarantee you a spot there. But I can say for us and for our company, we've never paid. And you don't have to. There's more than enough opportunities for you to get on lists that are exclusive without paying a fee, without having a big PR team behind you, if you just submit an application in the right way. I don't know any founders myself who've paid for lists. I think there is a time and place where you want to um, pay for buzz, but after a certain point, you're going to have to grab traction. And that's what we call product market fit. Like, is the market enjoying and appreciating your product enough to have buzz for itself? And I think when you have that, then you don't have to worry about paying anyone to be on a list. You just have to spend the time to do it. Mind you, we're not on every list that we've applied for. There's some that we were just not the right fit for at the time. But I think if you kind of know your batting average, like we talked about previously, where you know how many times you need to try before you give up and quit, then you'll just start submitting yourself to a lot more applications and a lot more opportunities than you probably would have imagined. I remember back when we had the brick and mortar store, the retail store, I read online somewhere that if you spend $100 a day in Facebook and Meta ads, then you can expect to make $100,000 for the year. So I tried doing that and we surpassed $100,000 a year. I think we were right around that time, about closer to $600,000, $700,000 for the year from those ads. So I think there's some weight to be put into those ads, but you can't really rely on them completely. It's important to be the first to show up during search, but you can create a lot of that on the back end for free or very low cost, and then support it yourself for free or low cost through your organic customers. We have had the opportunity to work with public relations teams. But I guess when we talk about paying, it's sometimes you pay with your time and other times you pay with your money. And for us, I recognize when we were paying with our time, like really investing in our business, making it a great experience for our customer, that's when we had the greatest reward. When we were paying for public relations and things to look good, it wasn't as dramatic of a payoff. And that's just for our early 6-year-olds business, but that was my experience there. We've probably tried every single marketing method known to man. At one point, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. At one point, we wanted customers so bad. I was like, let me just print flyers and drop them off at the library. Like, I was trying to figure out every single thing I could do to get in front of people. But I had to recognize what was actually good for my brand, our company brand, and what would just potentially be a waste of time. So things that ended up being really good for our brand were online reviews. The ones, again, that you can't pay for, can't pay to take them down, like Google reviews, Yelp reviews. Those are really good for us. To get people talking, I did as much free press as I possibly could. I said yes to everything at the time. There was a time where I said yes to every interview, every podcast. And that's the reason why a lot of people were talking about us. And that's why when you Google us, a lot of great things come up. It's because, for us to have an opportunity to be on a platform not only elevates our business, but it also can elevate the business of others. During the lockdown, when COVID hit, we were doing Women-Owned Wednesdays. So we would go live for 15 minutes on IG and we would talk to another woman-owned business and founder. And it was a great way for us to share followers and eyeballs. And those kind of things really help to move the needle. It helps both founders. So get creative. You don't have to spend a ton of money to make a big impression. Being a list maker changed my life. And I'm incredibly thankful for the team at Forbes, for the honor. It has opened so many doors for me. So after I made the list, I was contacted by an organization that was assembling a group of women to take them on a trip, an international trip. And it was paid for. It was a beautiful experience. And when I got there, I learned that they only invited women from the Forbes under 30 list. So it was 50 of us, and we experienced the world together. We traveled together, and we made very close bonds. And those women are some of my closest allies and friends today. And they opened the door for me to pursue venture capital. So they're the reasons why I have investors. And then that story unfolded into me becoming one of the first and few Black women to raise over $1 million in venture capital. So that list changed my life. I've met incredibly dynamic people, even just at the conference as an attendee. Just being there, showing up, being around the energy in the room, recognizing that founders who achieve a lot or young people who achieve a lot weren't much different than myself, and that I had it within me to do it. That's what the list meant to me, and what it brings up to me. And I have very positive and strong and fond memories of that experience, even up until this day. So I would highly recommend it. Nothing beats a failure but a try. You might as well try to get on the list. Why not? Put your name in the ring. Just see if it works out for you. Try it again another year and another year. If you don't make it, keep trying. It doesn't cost you anything. And it could really open the doors for you that you don't even expect if you're prepared for and open to it. My entire 30th birthday was filled with people from the Forbes list just because of those friendships that I met. So yeah, I highly recommend it.